Hey, y'all. Just couldn't stay away. And I made a promise to one of my students. I am a teacher, and my name is Isaac with the Fun Football Podcast. And when Bliss Hits the Fan from Podcast Boys Network and Shady Sports Network. But I made a promise to one of my students that I would do a Cowboys free agency special because he knows I hate the Cowboys. So here I am. And I shaved the head, and I'm going to do a Cowboys free agency special. And I'm going to be talking in a future soon in a video. I'm going to be talking NBA because the All-Star weekend starts this weekend, and I'm going to watch some basketball stuff. My most exciting night is Saturday night. Instead, I skip the All-Star game every weekend, and I'm going to be watching that dunk contest, the three-point contest, and that skills contest. But I'm here to talk about the Cowboys, and I think they're in a world of hurt. I really do. Like, I know that I don't know how Zimmer's going to work out for them as defensive coordinator. I think it's going to be interesting. I honestly think they're going to get surpassed by a multitude of teams. I think Detroit's already surpassed them. I think the Packers just proved they surpassed them. The 49ers did. I think the Rams are coming. I think if they can keep Stafford healthy, they'll be scary. And maybe somebody else from the NFC South, maybe the Bucks or somebody comes on up. Maybe they get smart and re-sign Baker and find a way to keep Evans or something. I don't know. They got some holes on D, and it's Baker, but he did go and win. He beat Philly. But I personally think the NFC East as the division's going down. I think the NFC North and the NFC West are going to be far tougher. And I just don't see a good scenario for the Cowboys, and they got a lot of free agents. So the last thing I saw on the salary cap is this big illusion. There's so many things you can do, post June 1st cuts, restructure, move salary forward. But the Cowboys have a lot of free agents. They got Stephon Gilmore they have to figure out. They've got Tyron Smith. That's a tough one because they have a contract situation with Tyler Smith, who was second a team All Pro, if I remember correctly, and is one of the best tackles, and honestly, he's one of the best tackles in football. They got their center, Biadasz. I can't say that guy's name. Biadasz. I don't know. Tyler Biadasz, their center. Jalen Kearse, starting safety. Tony Pollard. They got a decision at running back, corner, left tackle, center. One of their corners, Jordan Lewis. Jonathan Hankins, the starting defensive tackle. They've got Gilmore. Backup tackle, Iduga. Long snapper, Sieg. Not that important. Dante Fowler Jr., they're probably going to let him go. Backup tight end, McKean. Probably going to let him go. Cornerback, Ignabo. I can't say that guy's name. Noah Ignabone, I think is what you say it. Corner. Another backup corner, Goodwin. And Armstrong, who I kind of liked for them. They've got a lot of problems. And Rico Dowdle is a restricted free agent. They've got a lot of issues, and they've got to pay CeeDee Lamb soon. And they got to decide if they're going to pay Pollard because not a 10+ mil. I wouldn't. Not him. He looks like a really good complimentary back to me. Like, he can be explosive when the defense is softened, but I don't think I don't know. This is tough. I don't know how much I'd pay the guy. I really don't. Like, this is I don't know. It's a tough situation. So they got CeeDee Lamb coming up at 18 mil. They're going to have to pay him. Dak is on the last year of his deal, if I've got it correctly. His dead cap is 61. His cap is 59. Good quarterback, but man, not worth that money. Not even close. Zach Martin, oh man, he's getting up there in age, but still dang good guard. His dead cap is 41. His cap it's 28. I don't know how you can't keep shuffling money forward. And Dak's taking up almost 25% of their cap. DeMarcus Lawrence, dead cap is 21. His cap it's 20. They got problems here. They got Trayvon Diggs. They're gonna have to figure that out. But his dead cap's 28, so that you can't shuffle money forward. They push so much money forward. Dude, they're going to have to freaking honestly extend Dak and bring that cap hit significantly down, but he's probably going to want that much money, and he's not worth even remotely close to it, in my opinion. I'm only paying quarterbacks if I think they're that dude. Like, it's a tough situation to be a GM and have a guy as solid as Dak, but the way he plays in the playoffs, I would honestly, bold move, I'd trade him. See what you could get for him. Cowboys will never do it. Jerry's not a good enough GM to be that shrewd. He did make some solid moves last year getting they went out and I really liked what they did when they got Brandon Cooks and they got Gilmore, even though they're both aging, but it was still solid moves. They got to get some meat in that defense. Like when Hankins was out, and Vander Esch is just such an injury concern now. He's only worth four mil. So they're not going to save much by cutting him. His dead cap is 2.2. They're only going to save 2 mil there. Looking at Spot Track right now. I don't know. They're got some issues, man. Like they could cut Brandon Cooks and save 4 mil. They're probably going to have to do that. But is that really going to help them? Because they need another receiver. CeeDee Lamb was their offense. Like Pollard was not that special this year at all. They struggled to run the ball. They struggled to stop the run. And that came to light in the playoffs. We ran it right all over them. And I'm most surprised Dan Quinn got a job after how bad his defense looked in that game. So I don't know where to even start with them because they've got so many issues. I would do something bold. If you got Trey Lance on your roster, this is gonna get blown up, and this is what I would do. I'd ask Dak to take a salary cap. I'd ask him to take it. He's not going to do it, but I would ask him to be like Tom Brady, who had won Super Bowls, and Dak hasn't even been to the conference championship. But if they want any chance of contending, he's got to bring that number significantly down, way down. Like we got to get closer to like 40. Like, and see if he'll take that. Take a 5-year extension if they can do 5, or a 4-year extension for 160. What he just signed for? That would actually be like it's not a fair market deal. Fair market deal would be 50 plus. But if they want any chance of competing, they're going to pay CD. See if he'll take under 30, which he probably won't. He'll probably ask for over 30. And you got to pay both of them, or you're not going to have any chance. And frankly, I don't think their coaching is good enough. I don't think their quarterback's good enough. I don't think they're a good enough franchise. I just don't see like to compete for a championship because that's what their aspirations are. But if they want to go that route, Gallup sucks for them because he's at 13 mil and he hasn't really been that great, and they're banking on him returning to form. But he was really just kind of a deep threat anyways. They got to figure out a way to move that on. And unfortunately for them, Terrence Steele, their right tackle, has a dead cap hit of 19, his cap hit is 11. So they can't really push much more money forward. So they're going to have to restructure Dak and push some money forward on guys, and they're going to just continue to be in not a great cap situation, unfortunately. Gilmore was vital for them. They've got with Deron Bland coming back, but they've got to get some size, man. They continue to get beaten up by teams that can run, and they got to get the running identity back. They need a legit running back. But the problem is Tony Pollard's a free agent, so what do? You bring him back? I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I think I'd draft a running back, honestly. And I'd start putting Dak on the clock here. Seriously. Like if he can't get it done, I'd be I mean, they got Trey Lance, but that really put him on the clock. I'd draft a quarterback. Or they're not gonna be bold enough to flip him. If it was me, I would. Let's see what team would offer, what type of pick they'd offer, and start rebuilding. But I know they're not going to do that. I just don't see them competing for a world championship. But the biggest problem, we all know what it is. It's Jerry Jones, man. He is not a good enough GM. He meddles too much in this franchise. He's got his fingerprints all over it, and it's fingerprints of, for being honest, kind of mediocrity. Like they haven't won that many playoff games. They make the playoffs and lose frequently. They haven't sniffed a conference championship in almost 30 years now. And they're not going to, as long as Jerry's got his hands on the team and his son is the GM, who's a decent GM, but they need to get a real GM to pick a real coach. As decent as McCarthy is, they need somebody that is all about authority and discipline. And they want this team to get back to being what they were in the early 90s and the 70s. But they're not going to do that. It's been too long. They don't know how to win. That DNA isn't in there anymore, I don't think. So harsh words, I know. So let's talk with the salary cap stuff. Dak, you got to extend him if that's what the route they're going to go. Zach Martin, you might have to extend him too, even at his age, or push the money forward to save some money. DeMarcus Lawrence can't sit at 20 as good as he is. They're going to have to push that money, I think. CD, they're going to have to extend. I don't know if that'll actually bring the salary cap hit down. It's 18 mil, but he's one of the best receivers in football, so you can't do much with that. Traylon Diggs, they're going to have to push his money forward, but his dead cap's huge. I don't know what they're going to do with that. Blah, that's a tough one. Gallup, that's a tough one. I personally would cut. They're not going to really save any money. The only people they can save money on by cutting, it's sad, is Vander Esch, that's an injury thing that sucks. And that's pretty much it. There really isn't any money to save. They're just going to push it forward. That's a tough situation. I think in the draft they're gonna have to target. I'd put Dak on the clock, or I draft. They do need a second receiver. If Brandon Cooks isn't gonna be it. I like Jake Ferguson for them. They need to get a running back and a receiver, and they got to continue to rebuild that offensive line. Their targets should be honestly a tackle if they're gonna let Tyron Smith go, which they might have to. Um, that's a tough spot to be in, but he's a free agent. They don't have money. I don't know what they're going to do. At his age, he's been injured. They might need to just start with left tackle in the draft and then get a running back and then continue to build on defense from there. But they've got to get some linebackers with size. They got to get beef up that defensive line. As good as Parsons is, they need another impact player to help stop the run because they get run on against these elite rushing offenses. And that's their biggest problem. But I think the arrow's kind of pointing down for them because I think the arrow's pointing so up for other teams in the NFC. Not just being a homer, I do think the Packers will be good, but the Lions will be there. 49ers aren't going anywhere. I do think, like I said, the Rams and the Bucks are coming. Philly, maybe they rebound. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think the only good news for the Cowboys, they play in a weak division. So I don't see the Giants getting better unless they have a killer draft and free agency, or Washington unless they land on that QB. And the Giants aren't going to move on from Jones yet, so I don't think, anyways. So it's a tough spot to be in. I think they're kind of closer to 10-17 next year. I don't think they're going to win 12 games again. The only way they get there is pretty much sweeping most of the division, which is possible. But I don't think they're going to win 12 games. I don't think so. I think you got the best season you're going to see out of Dak regular season. I don't think it's going to get better for him. Division's going to, I mean, they're going to have a tough, I think they're going to have a tough schedule. I don't know, man. It's a lot of free agents. I think Tyron Smith might be gone, and they're going to have to find a way to bring Gilmore back on the cheap. Pollard may be gone. They're not going to sign him for 10 plus. That'd be dumb. They may do it, but I wouldn't. Fowler's probably gone. Gallimore's probably gone. They need Hankins to come back, but I don't know what they're going to be able to afford. They're in a tough cap spot, man. They're going to have to make a couple big extensions that's going to push a lot of money forward, and they're going to have to move, restructure, do some um, salary bonuses and stuff, and push the money forward. But I think the arrow's pointing down for this team, and that is just leading me into something I'm going to do moving forward. I'm going to do trending up, trending down. I think the Cowboys. I'm going to just talk about a few teams each, little short. I think the Cowboys are trending down. Hope you all enjoyed this. There will be more stuff this weekend. It's the weekend after Valentine's Day. It's NBA All-Star Weekend. I will be talking some NBA in my NBA playlist on the YouTube. I won't be doing any lives for the month. I said I wouldn't, so I'm staying off the lives, but you'll see me in more of these. And please go, if you enjoyed this content, please go subscribe to the Fun Football Podcast on YouTube and check it out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm starting Instagram just a little bit, and TikTok. So please check it out on all the social medias. And if you have any feedback, please leave comments. I love them, seriously. And if you have any other ideas or stuff that you'd like to hear, see moving forward, leave that as well. Thanks, guys. See you again soon.